Hi, we are discussing currently why I think the 3 reasons that Georgia is one of the most physically inactive states. So I'll just go and hop in. I need 3 of them with some explanations. I think that number one, I think that Georgia, being in the South, is usually known for unhealthier foods. Like, not that the North or anything like that isn't, but I know that like it's such a stereotype that like it's like homemade, like southern, like literally southern comfort food. So I think that southern comfort food is usually not good for you. So probably a pandemic in the South, maybe a Bible Belt thing in general, but specifically in Georgia. I also think that one of the biggest reasons that we are such an inactive state is because we don't have walkable cities, and we also have a lot of rural areas. So I guess that's like maybe kind of 2 reasons put into one, but also have another one just in case. But yeah, so our walkable cities, like for example, like New York City, if you live there, you can walk anywhere. Atlanta is not exactly the same, and a lot of big cities here are, not like that. I mean, depends on where you go, but to speak generally, and also just what I think. But 2, I think this one is what the most valid thing is to me, is that we have a lot of rural areas. So that requires a lot of driving, and that requires people to like drive everywhere, and driving is sedentary. So, less walking. Like for example, if you live in a little town and you need to go to a grocery store, you can't just walk to the grocery store. You have to drive there because it's 30 minutes away. So stuff like that. I think we have lots of highways, and that is just like another reason people don't have to get out in there and like walk and do stuff and get active. And finally, I think that this is kind of a little bit of a guess. I did try to do some research. I don't know if it was like amicable, but we don't have very many places like parks or like like places where it's easier for people to get active. Like I feel like a bunch of other states, you hear about like all kinds of parks that we have, and like the only one that I can really think of on the top of my head that's not like a local park is like Centennial Park. Obviously, like my town has one, and like each town does, but I just feel like in Georgia specifically, it's a lot of suburban, so it's not like, it's either suburban or it's rural, and then we have Atlanta. And so I feel like it's probably one of those things where like less parks equals less places for people to access, areas to go walk and to go be active and get outside and stuff. Honestly, just for good measure, we also have funny weather, so people don't like to get outside when it's cold because they don't understand the cold here. Anyway, if I was going to conduct a research project examining the reason why I mentioned this above, which research paradigm would you use? What would the project be like? I would probably want to set up a research system where I get to survey all kinds of people in Georgia unbiasedly, and talk to people in rural areas and ask whether how much they drive their car, when they get out to walk, are they out and walking, and then like I would honestly choose my second reason as my paradigm, discussing like how much they're driving and like when we're using your cars. But if I wanted to go for a different reason, I would also like to come up with a research project talking about most of Georgia's diet and what it consists of, and whether they indulge in this kind of southern living food, and like what I would go with the first one. I would definitely go with my first reason. Why'd you choose this paradigm over the other 2? Well, yeah, like I said before, I kind of already answered that question, but I would use the first one because I think it's the best one and has the most research behind it. I feel like I would definitely be able to find the most research. I don't know how much research I would find on like parks and stuff, but I know I could with like people driving and at the rate that they're driving and how much and how often, and whether they feel like having a walkable city would be beneficial. That's it.